Is that just you just gonna try to do that every single time you get the ball?
Nah, honestly, I don't know. Think like going on in my head. I just ended up in the air, and then I looked at it. I was like, yeah, it don't look too good from this point, but I don't know. It just happened.
Is the leg to the face like a new strategy for breaking tackles, or is that just like how it goes?
Yeah, it's just kind of how it went.
Have the coaches said anything about you trying to hurdle them? Are they saying, hey man, stay on the ground, you know, we need to keep you healthy, or are they comfortable with you getting up in the air?
Yeah, it's I mean, coaches, friends, people like that. I mean, they know with my previous injury, they'll just be smart with it and, you know, just go from there.
Do you think the fact that those guys are diving at your legs probably encourages you to try and jump over them, knowing they're going to go low so often?
Yeah, I feel like that a lot. So I mean, that's just kind of how I move on with the game.
And then the other big collision you caused on the field where literally you sent two guys bouncing backwards. Walk me through that play and what you saw, and then see them on the ground when you get up.
I just ran my route, and I mean, it was a guy trailing on me. So I mean, at the ball, you know, I just went for the ball, and I didn't see him. It just happened. Like, I'm thinking no safety was over there. I'm like, oh, this touchdown, because I mean, I had my guy behind me. So man, as soon as I caught it and turned my head, it was like, okay, like wow, you know.
You mentioned that injury that you had earlier, the previous ones. You know, obviously you're spending a lot of time with the trainers, but does Georgia have like a support staff that you spend time with, you know, to work with your mental side of recovering from an injury?
Yeah. Drew, he does a great job with, you know, talking to us and talking to us about just real life stuff or personal stuff or anything that's like on our minds, and he just kind of helps and, you know, clear our minds with that stuff and try to keep ball with ball and personal stuff. So yeah. How
important is that to have somebody on your side when you're, you know, away from a sport that you love so much?
I feel like that's very important. You know, I mean, when you go on the field, you just want to play the best as you can, and if you think about other stuff, and that may get, you know, in the way of you playing your game. So yeah, very important.
We talked to you a few weeks ago about Coach Hill coming in and joining the staff. Just what do you think about how he settled in, you know, and how he's gotten adjusted?
When I see Hill on the field, I mean, he's not really with the tight end, so like I don't really see him all the time. But when I see him out there, you know, joking and playing with the, you know, my teammates and things like that. But I feel like he's, you know, adjusted, you know, more and more, and it's only get better from there.
Darnell, what's the feeling coming into this Auburn game? I guess, you know, the expectations for you guys are so high that there's grousing sometimes, even when you win tough against Missouri. What's the mentality inside the locker room getting ready for this Auburn game, and, you know, knowing that anybody can sneak up on you?
Yeah, I mean, we know a little history about it. Kirby showed, you know, a clip a day of, you know, just a rivalry about this game, and we approach it as any other game, as we approached it last year, or, you know, the first game of the season. You know, we just approach it, and, you know, just going to attack it.
So the injury report said that Arian is questionable at the moment. Is he practicing, or like what is he looking like on the field right now at the moment? Yeah,
Aaron's out there. He's out there practicing, running around. But I mean, with me, I really don't know his injury and like when he comes back, you know.
So what does he bring to this team, like when he is on the field? Obviously, you guys got him back in the Missouri game.
Yeah, I mean, everybody know Aaron full speed. You know, I mean, he's a track star, so I mean, he brings a lot of speed to the offense.
On Saturday after the game, Coach Smart talked about how you really stepped up as a leader, and, you know, said the backs need to get behind you and everything. Just kind of go through what you were saying to them and how important it was for you to step up that day.
Yeah, I just felt like in the locker room, you know, like anything's possible. You know, we'd have come back. I mean, I just had a gut feeling. I was just like, I mean, I just had a feeling that we were going to win. So I mean, I was just like, let's pick it up and just everybody do their job. And then fourth quarter came around, the feelings just got stronger. So I was just like, I mean, it's now or never, you know.
Was that a spur of the moment type thing? Was that something you were thinking about actually going into the locker room with that game?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just said that.
That you were thinking about it? Or?
Yeah, that I was thinking about it. You know, going into the locker room at halftime, I was just like, man, there's a lot of game left. You know, it's still 2 quarters of another half. So I was just like, you know, we got what it takes.
What'd you learn from your teammates, you know, being able to come back like that?
That I mean, we're not quitters. You know, most teams, they get down 2 or 3 possessions and they'll just be like, man, we lost, like, you know, ain't no way. But, you know, I look at the defensive guys in their eyes before they went out and took the field, you know, made a great stops and just held them to a field goal, held them 3 points, and I was just like, I mean, we got dogs.
What do you make of the red zone struggles you guys have had the last couple of games, and why you've been settling for so many field goals down there?
I mean, we just not executing on the offense side of the ball. I mean, simple as that. I mean, that's one thing we do have to improve and work on.
So you guys have had some slow starts in the past few games. What has been Coach Smart's message to you guys going in each one of these games and trying to fix that going into the Auburn game?
I mean, he always sort of push us to, you know, start better. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to happen sooner or later. We just got to have the mentality and the fight and, you know, the pride to.
You really embraced the role of blocking this season. How does blocking, and especially on the play where Brock Bowers broke free against Kent State, I saw you made a big block and then you were celebrating running 50 yards down to the end zone. Do you enjoy more scoring a touchdown or making a big block that leads to a touchdown?
I feel like, I mean, they're both very important. I mean, it only blocks who will. I mean, simple as that. I mean, I don't know. Scoring touchdowns is a fun feeling, but also springing one, you know, with the lead block is also another thing. Because I mean, nothing goes unrecognized. So.
You're always putting guys in the dirt. You have a pancake count? Amount of guys you put in the dirt?
No, I actually don't. I just live life and just play the game to the fullest.
Obviously, it's a big loss with AD being out, but what do you think the other wide receivers and tight ends have gained from, you know, that loss and kind of just the next man up?
I feel like with the younger guys like Dylan Bell and guys like that, it just boosted their mentality to come out and just be the next guy, you know, stepping up.
And speaking of like adversity and stuff, you guys have obviously ended games in different ways that people didn't expect. But what do you think that you guys have gained with winning games in different ways, not just blowing people out?
I feel like it's just, you know, battle test us, you know, in many ways, and I mean, it just helped the team and it just shows the team that like anything's possible. Being down or just blowing the team out, you know, just getting the younger guy reps as well. So, you know, it's just good all around.
Do you guys feel humbled losing the #1 spot?
I mean, me personally, I don't really pay attention to the rankings or things like that, but I feel like most guys on the team, yeah.
And can you speak your relationship with Amarius Mims? You said y'all were roommates last year?
Yeah. Me and Mims, we go way back since high school, you know, the football camps, things like that. He's a funny guy, and he's like another brother to me.